Hello everyone, it's week 2 of Nina Ribena's Art Journal Prompts and More. This month's prompt is words, and for the second week I've chosen the word eclectic to work with, and I'm using an eclectic mix of all different types of papers. Most of these are from Happy Mail that Rain and Opus sent me last year. There's a few bits and pieces I think from Noit Berkovich as well. I'm pretty sure that this was sent to me by Noit. And what I want to do is try and assemble this into some kind of collage. I've got my usual piece of mixed media paper buried underneath here. Just because I'm familiar with this size of paper, I don't know whether I'm going to use this as a journal page or have it as a wall hanging. I have no idea what direction I'm going with. I just feel the need to glue these pretty pieces of paper in some kind of order down onto my piece of mixed media paper. And so I'm going to cast these aside, and then I shall probably put it onto fast forward and we'll start gluing things down. And the easiest thing to do is to just choose a corner to start in and just plonk something down, and just put colours together that you find pleasing to you. So for instance here I've got that lovely green against that cerise pink with the silvery glitter on it. Then I'm adding the paler pink flower piece of paper, and just keep putting things down in a pleasing fashion. There's something really therapeutic about getting glue out and just, gluing things down in this fashion. Now you can see there that I am using a credit card just to get rid of any air bubbles and just to make sure that things are glued down securely to the page and that my pieces don't start to lift. And here again I'm coming in the bottom right hand corner of the page. Now later on I decide that I don't like how this "and" looks. It looked wonky to me at the time that I was doing it, but when I play it back later I think, what on earth was I making such a fuss about? Because I end up covering it up and I'm not sure that was the right thing to do, but there you go. And I've got these cut out pieces of paper as well. These are die cut pieces of paper. I've just got a whole eclectic mix of all sorts here. But I'm sticking mainly with greens and pinks, just so that it doesn't get too busy. This is a piece of Hessian fabric. So again, it's all about the texture, Pieces of book paper as well, just to add interest, whatever I could find. And I just keep going and going until my page is completely filled up. This is the piece of the textured raffia that Noit sent me in Happy Mail. And again, I've just put it down to add some texture to the page. Quite tricky to glue down. Is pretty much covered, and I just decide to add a few overlapping pieces of book paper. I find some Hessian scraps as well, just to place down on the page, just doing anything I can just to make it look interesting. dry, so I just want to cut around the edges just so that I can see what this looks like. So let's have a trim and see what we've got. And so this is what I've got so far, and I'm pretty happy with it at the moment. I don't like the "and" here. It's wonky, and that's really bugging me. And so I think what I'm going to do is just keep adding to this piece until I am happy with the way that it looks. So let's add some more glue here. Just try and I'm just really going to try and concentrate now on trying to get this lined up so that it looks pleasing to my eye. And then I've got this piece of lace that I thought might look quite nice, so I think I'm going to add that. And with this type of collage, it's just a case of just keep going until you're happy with the way that it looks. There we are. What else do I want to add? Got some of these hearts here. These are the hearts that I did when I was doing the nail polish marbling. I've got a couple of those which I thought I could add. And so I'm just going to keep going. I've got some other bits and pieces that I want to glue down. Some more hearts and things. Let's have a fiddle around with this. I've got some postage stamps which I thought might look quite nice. Got this one here, this pretty pink one. And so I'm just going to have a fiddle around and start gluing a few bits and pieces down. I really like that that leaf on craft paper. That's just left over from another project. And then I've got my eclectic as well that I got from a dictionary page and glued onto a piece of denim. And I thought that might look quite nice, something like that. So I'm going to have a fiddle around with these pieces and glue some of these down, and then we'll decide what we're going to do next. Now, whilst I've got my glue out, I want to add a border to this page. I'm pretty happy with how it's looking at the moment, and I still want to add to it, but whilst I've got the glue and before it dries up, I just want to add some of this Hessian that I used last week just as a border. So I think I'm going to add this all the way round. I don't know whether I shall add a single layer or a double layer. I'm not really too sure. So let's just add a little bit of glue around the edge of my page. It's going to need quite a thick layer for the Hessian to stick. And I think I'm going to need to hold it in place probably with some bulldog clips as well. Let's just see if I can press this down. And get rid of some of the excess glue at the same time. There we are. So I'm going to hold that in place with a couple of bulldog clips. Here we go. I've got some here, so we'll add one at either end, so we can add one there, and then we'll add another one here, another tiny one, right on the end, and then I'm just going to have to leave that to dry. Now my border has stuck and I really like how that looks, but I just want to add some defining detail, and I'm going to use my Neo colours rather than my Prima water soluble or oil pastels, just because the nib's a little bit thinner on some of these, and some of them I haven't used, so I am just going to add some detail. So we'll just go around this one here, just to define some of the pieces on this page. This is just a little bit of fun and nothing. It's one of my missions this year is to just use some of my scraps, and if it means sort of putting them down on pages like this, then so be it. It's all about just playing and having a bit of fun. It doesn't have to sort of mean anything to anybody else, just something that is pleasing to your eye, and I personally like this kind of thing. It's not everybody's cup of tea, I'm pretty sure, but I really like how that looks, and I'm going to do the same on the other two pieces as well. So I want to decide where I want to add some of these nouveau drops, and I'm just wondering whether I add them around here. Let's give that a shake up. Let's give it a go. Why not? Oh. I love this colour. What a pretty turquoise. And I love the way that these level and just become nice and round. Whereas I find with the oh gosh, what are the other ones I've got called? I shall dig them out in a minute and I shall tell you, but they leave little peaks and I'm not very happy with those. Here you go, Dovecraft 3D Pearl Effects. These sort of leave a peak, whereas these are nice and rounded once they've had a chance to settle down, and I really like that. And I also like the Pinflair Pearl wand as well, that these round off nicely too. Now I'm going to activate those Neo colours just using a water brush pen. There we are. And we'll go around the trying not to smudge the nouveau drops that I've put down. Now I'm pretty happy with the way that that's looking, but I need to be careful that I don't smudge the centre of my flowers because they're not quite dry yet. The blue is nice and dry, and that just feels lovely. It goes sort of like a hard plastic. Now I've dug out the word eclectic from some, oh, where have they gone? Here we go. From these chipboard letters here. These are the ones that Linda Cooper Pierce gave me for Christmas, and I just want to ink around the edges. So I've got my my Ranger archival ink pad, and I am just going to go around the edge of all of these letters just so that they stand out on this page. So I shall go round all of these letters like so. Makes those stand out a lot more, but I also want to go around the edge of my page as well. Let's do this whilst I'm at it, and as I say, I'm just being really careful here not to smudge the centre of those flowers. I've inked around the edges of my quote, and I've just been heating my hot glue gun up, and that's how I'm going to glue this quote down to my page. Eclectic, here we go. Oh, now it's the next day and my page is completely dry, and I just absolutely love the way that this is looking. Just eclectic just sums it up. I just really like it. Yesterday I started playing with some of my neo colours, adding a bit of shading to the leaf here. You saw me go around the outside of these hearts with the neo colours, and that turned out to be a big flop. I've mudded it, and you know, it's just the way it goes. I think because I'd got Mod Podge over the hearts, as soon as I added the water with my water brush, it just went all pear-shaped. So I've just tried to repair that as best I can. But, you know, I'm fine with it. I'm absolutely fine with it. I love how colourful this is. I think the colours work really well together. But the only thing that I want to change is I've got this piece of purple here, and I feel as if I want to add some hearts. Now, I've got some of this paper left over. You can see it in the background, and I think what I am going to do is cut some hearts out, just fussy cut some hearts out and glue them on, just to add a little bit more interest to that piece, that part of the page. And apart from that, I think I'm pretty much going to call this done. So I'm going to go off camera and fussy cut a few hearts, and we'll have a play around with it and see what we can do. And as soon as I've done that, I shall be back. Right, so I've cut these hearts out, and I've got a little bit of glue left over. I just left this pot drying yesterday, and so I've broken the seal, and there's still enough glue in that to add these hearts. So let's just add these. There we are. Let's add this one. Oh, and add that last one as well. There we are, this week's page, Eclectic. I had so much fun doing that. Many of you know that I have not been feeling very well this week. I've had the flu, I've had no energy whatsoever, no motivation to really do anything, and so this was just a perfect project for this week. I just love the way that the colours work in harmony with one another. Just a little bit of fun, just something and nothing, but just, you know, something to me that is very pleasing to my eye. I love using postage stamps, you know, that kind of thing. Just little scraps, little pieces of lace in here, and it's just got so much texture. It just feels so nice. So I'm really happy with that. So I look forward to seeing what everybody else decides to do for week 2 of this month's prompt words. I've got something completely different lined up again for next week. So, but as I say, I just look forward to seeing what everybody else decides to come up with for this week. If you want to do some kind of collage like I've done here, then feel free to do so. You know, use your imagination. As I say, I just look forward to seeing what everybody else decides to come up with. So let me know what you think. If you like what I've done here, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up as always, and let me know what you think in the comments below. So take care everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.